Oh, good morning. Happy coffee talk. It's Friday morning. It's clear out, but it's clear and cold. So in Washington, when it's clear in the winter, it always gets like very, very cold. And this morning, there was no snow, but the entire ground turned like white with ice, and then the sky was pink. So it was pretty beautiful this morning. Coffee this morning is in my Polish pottery mug. This is definitely the repeat, mug of this season. I love this mug. Nikki Miller gave it to me from Fitme, but it's just the right size. And I love it. So in my mug today, I have a blend of Black Rifle coffee and my cacao coffee-ish, whatever it is. So let's get right to coffee talk message for today. The past couple of days, my knee has been sucking. And I know that I've told you about my knees before, but let me give you a quick rundown just in case you don't know. So when I was in the Navy, because I was in the Navy for 7 years, I had a knee surgery that probably wasn't necessary. And was not successful. So I don't know if we would call it botched, but it was an unsuccessful surgery. And because of that, I had 9 more surgeries. So I've had 4 ACL reconstructions on my left knee. I've had a microfracture, a bone graft, a bunch of stuff. So I basically have the knee of like an 80-year-old woman, but I'm 38. And every time I go to the doctor, they're always like, you need a knee replacement, but you can't have one. And they're just not like super, super helpful with that information. So anyways, I kind of go in seasons. Like I'll have like a very functional season where I feel really good. My knee's doing okay. I mean, never normal, but I'll be doing fine. And then I'll have a season where it's like less good, but I'm still like pretty functional. And then I get seasons where it really hurts. And I think that's the season that I'm in right now, because it was hurting quite a bit. Then I got my injections and then it was swollen quite a bit. And then now here we are like a month later. I think I'm still talking about my knee not feeling great. And not a month after injections, but a month after I started complaining that it was not feeling great. And now it's just very sore. So anyways, point is, not telling you that for a pity party. I'm telling you that because I decided today that I was going to use something called kinesiology tape. So it's like KT tape. Some people know rock tape. If you've seen certain sports, you've probably seen like athletes with tape on their shoulders or tape on their knees. And I have some. And so I decided, you know what, my knee is hurting quite a bit. I'm going to get out this tape, this KT tape, and I'm going to YouTube a video. I've done it before, but I'm just going to YouTube a refresh. I'm going to tape my knee. Now, here's the golden question. Does it do anything? I have looked at this, and I'm not a KT tape professional. I know plenty of PTs and massage therapists who have spent a lot of time learning about this. So feel free to add on to this. But here's what I do know from my research and from my conversations with physical therapists and massage therapists is that it does something to your brain. So when you tape your knee, sometimes it can help with like swelling, or this is shoulder too, whatever you're taping. Sometimes it can help with swelling or inflammation because it literally like raises the skin a little bit. So if you have inflammation, then the swelling can get distributed. But what it does for your pain is it takes pain that's isolated in one spot and it kind of spreads out your sensory perception of the pain so that across your knee or whatever, your joint, it just feels less painful. So is it pretend that it's relieving the pain, or is it real? I don't know the answer, but I do know that if I am physically experiencing pain and then I put tape on and it makes the pain less, then that's as real as it gets, right? I mean, it's like the placebo thing. Is placebo real? Well, yeah, placebo is real because if it actually really works, then it's real. Now, why am I telling you all this? You're like, Christy, good story about your knee, interesting info about KT tape. How is this relevant to me? What's relevant is sometimes we downplay how important small things that make things easier for our brain, how powerful those things are. Sometimes we think, oh, well, that's just like a silly thing or a hack or whatever. But oftentimes there are paths of least resistance for our brain, little tricks that we can do to make habit changes easier, to make self-talk easier, to make exercise easier, to make eating healthy easier. And is it real? I don't know. I mean, I guess you can torture yourself and figure out ways to do it without making it easier on your mind. But why wouldn't you want to make it easier? It's not fake. And so our brains are funny. Our brains are really powerful. Point of my KT tape story is like, my brain is super powerful. It is making me walk with a limp right now because my knee is sore. And so the pain is causing more problems. Like whatever's inside my knee is not new. It's been a problem for years, but the pain is actually causing more problems right now because I'm walking with a limp. So my back's kind of sore and the rest of my leg muscles aren't firing right. Like everything feels weird because I'm walking weird because of the pain. So if I relieve the pain, the cascade of problems actually goes away and I can just return to the original hard thing, that my knee struggles. So I want you to think about this in your life. Like, what things are you suffering through that don't need to feel like that? What things could you make easier on your mind so that instead of, dealing with the cascade of problems that happen from the pain, instead you could just focus on the hard thing? And it is a mind thing. I am specifically talking about a mindset shift. Okay. So one of the examples I'd like to talk about is just having boundaries around certain kinds of food. I think we've been told a lie that we should be surrounded with bullshit food all the time. I do believe that you can have anything you want to have. I don't think that restriction is a great strategy. It doesn't work for most people. On the other hand, why would you want to play mental mind duels all day long, trying to convince yourself to not have the thing that is surrounding you? Why on earth would we want to do that and make it so hard for ourselves when we can actually make it easier for ourselves? Mental trick called boundaries. If it's out of our house, it's out of our mind. So then we're not playing that game anymore and we can actually focus on the actual real thing, which is trying to eat healthy and learning how to do that instead of playing, again, mental battle with ourselves. Exercise can be similar. The mental battle usually happens before the exercise, by the way. Once we get there, most people are good. But before you go, there's going to be a mental battle. I don't want to go. I should probably move it. I don't think I can do it. Or maybe it's just not going to work out for today. There's all this mental fight, right? So how do you actually bypass that? How do you make it easier for your brain? One, you schedule your workouts. This is one of our main things that we do in fitme. We schedule your workouts. Number one, because now it's in your calendar for real and you're not going to have conflicts. Number two, get yourself an accountability buddy. Maybe somebody who's going to do it with you, or maybe somebody who also did it today somewhere else in the country. It doesn't matter. An accountability buddy removes some of that mental resistance because you're like, well, Sarah already did it, so I'm doing it. And here it is in my schedule. Again, mental resistance gone. And then changing your clothes. It's not silly, but if you're sitting around and you're like Netflix pants, you're not going to want to go to the gym. So change your Netflix pants into your workout pants, put on your tennis shoes, and now all of a sudden the mental resistance just got significantly easier. So I don't know if you need to KT tape your life, trick our brains into making things feel less painful. But it's not fake. It's real. And I prefer to feel less pain. And maybe you should too. Lean into that a little bit. Lean into some of these tricks that we talk about in fitme because they're not just like mental, games. This is how you do it. Having boundaries around food, like positive self-talk. Like it's not like, oh, yay, rah, rah. It's, okay, so what happens if instead of beating myself up, I just say something neutral? Like, okay, like instead of looking in the mirror and be like, you look gross in those pants. It's like, what's something neutral you can say? It doesn't even have to be positive. What's something neutral you can say? The mental mind trick would be like, okay, when I look in the mirror and I say something negative, I'm going to say something neutral. Mental mind trick. Check. Makes body image stuff a little bit easier. And it has nothing to do with anything except our head. So that's my coffee talk message for you this morning. Where do you need to put some KT tape on your life and make the brain space a little less painful, so that you can follow through on the things that you're committed to? Follow through on those workouts. Follow through on that walk. Follow through on eating healthy. Follow through on saying no to processed junk you don't want to eat and sweet treats that you know you've already had enough of. How can we do that better? With some little mental mind tricks that make it easier. Because otherwise we just run out of capacity to work. They have done studies to show that discipline runs out. It is finite. You will run out of it. Willpower, finite. You can run out of it. It has to be renewed. And so make it easier so you don't have to waste it all the time. You don't have to waste the motivation. You don't have to waste the discipline, the willpower. Use it sometimes and make it easier for yourself the other times. So thanks for plugging in for Coffee Talk. If you missed our announcement of our scholarship winner, go to the fitme community or the fitme free community Facebook group, and you can see who won our 1-year scholarship. We announced it on Wednesday, so go check it out. And if you have not subscribed to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform, go to your podcast app, search Fit Me Coffee Talk, hit subscribe. If you like these episodes, it would mean so much to me to see a review and read why you like them. It means a lot. I love talking to you each morning, and I would appreciate so much hearing your feedback in any form. So thanks so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.